All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something that's at the very heart of, well, pretty much everything we do, our relationship with money. And look, this isn't just about spreadsheets and budgets. It's about the mindset, that deep core belief that's driving every single financial choice you make. So let me just ask you this straight up, and I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Do you serve money or does money serve you? Because your answer to that one little question, it reveals everything. It tells you whether money is your master or if it's just a tool in your toolbox. You see, when you boil it all down, there are really only two ways to look at money. You've got the survival mindset on one side and the tool mindset on the other. And the one you're living by, whether you know it or not, has absolutely massive consequences for your life. So first, let's talk about the survival mindset. This is where money is basically treated like a god. The core belief, deep down, is money is everything. Without it, I'm nothing. Your identity, your security, your self-worth, it all gets tangled up with your bank account. And that, of course, makes money a constant source of fear. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's that constant nagging fear of losing what you have. It's a focus on scarcity, that feeling that there's just never enough. Money ends up calling the shots, right? You take that job you hate because it's safe. You get stuck treating your time for money 1 hour at a time. It becomes this endless loop. Pay the bills, just survive, and then do it all over again tomorrow. And spending, that becomes an emotional crutch, a quick hit of relief from all that pressure. But there is another way. The tool mindset. This frames money as a form of power, but it's not power over you. The core belief here is actually incredibly simple and really empowering. Money is a tool, and I'm the one who uses it. It's about creating options, leverage, and real control over your own life. And this mindset, it creates a totally different set of habits. When you see money as a tool, you're not riding the emotional roller coaster of the stock market. Gains and losses are just data points. Your focus shifts from scarcity to abundance, this belief that you can always create more value. Suddenly, money starts serving your decisions. You use it to buy back your time or to buy knowledge. And here's the real game changer. You start focusing on leverage, using systems, technology, other people's money to multiply your impact. Now, you might be thinking, okay, these sound like kind of small differences in how people think. But here's the thing. Over time, these differences don't just add up. They compound. They literally create two completely different realities. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Just look at the long-term results. Time freedom? In the survival mindset, if you stop working, the money stops, period. In the tool mindset, your assets are out there working for you 24/7. How about stress? For one person, one unexpected bill is a full-blown crisis. For the other, stress isn't about how will I survive, it's about how can I optimize this system. The opportunities you can take, the quality of your life decisions, it all traces back to that one core belief. You can really boil it all down to two totally different paths. The survival mindset is linear. You work, you earn, you spend. And the next morning, you wake up and you're back at square one. You have to do it all over again. The tool mindset, though, is strategic. You build something, then you find a way to multiply it, and then you scale it. You see the difference? One's a treadmill, the other is a launch pad. And here's the real hidden trap, the cruel irony of the survival mindset. When money becomes your god, you end up sacrificing everything that actually makes life worth living. Your time, your health, your relationships, all to serve this thing that, at the end of the day, never, ever makes you feel truly secure. Okay, let's hit pause for a second and get real. Because it would be way too simple and frankly just wrong to say this is only about your mindset. The real world is a lot more complicated than that. I want to be really clear about this. Mindset is incredibly powerful, but no, it is not everything. And it's so important that we acknowledge that. Of course, other things matter a lot. Your education, where you grew up, who you know, heck, even just plain old luck. They all play a massive role in the hand you're dealt. So think of it this way. Mindset is the amplifier. It's the thing that determines what you do with the opportunities you get, big or small. It's how you play the cards you're holding. So, with all that said, how do you actually make the shift? Practically speaking, how do you go from worshiping money to actually using it? The survival mindset is always asking this defensive question, how much can I save? It's a question that comes from a place of fear, right? It's about protecting, hoarding, and just trying not to lose. The big shift happens when you start asking a completely different question, an offensive question. How can I grow this? You see the difference? That question comes from a place of abundance, of strategy. It's not about hiding, it's about building.
So where can you start? Okay, first, track your money. Not to beat yourself up, but just to understand it. Knowledge replaces fear. Second, learn to invest, not just save. Make your money start working for you. Third, focus on building skills that increase the value you can bring to others. And finally, and this might be the most important one of all, redefine what worth even means. Your worth is not the number in your bank account. It is the value you are capable of creating in the world.
At the end of the day, maybe it all comes down to this. Some people make money work to expand their lives. Others work for money just to survive life. Now, that might sound like a small difference in phrasing, but over years, that difference compounds into entirely different worlds. So the real question is, which world are you building?